Hello and welcome. We are broadcasting live from GlobalNutriPreneurs, the premier global gateway and unified operating system transforming the future of global agri-food economy. Today, the global food system stands at a critical crossroads. While the demand for functional health, wellness, and nutritional security is expanding exponentially, early-stage innovators face massive roadblocks, fragmented supply chains, opaque cross-border regulations, and a staggering volume of unvetted noise that isolates brilliant founders from institutional capital. The cost of this friction isn't just measured in lost revenue. It is measured in the unacceptably high rate of global food waste and systematic nutritional insecurity. Promoted by the Global Council for Agri-Food Trade and Innovation and the Global Council for the Promotion of International Trade, Global Nutripreneurs was engineered to dismantle these barriers. We are moving decisively past passive business directories. Powered by a robust digital operating system featuring AI-driven founder mentor matching, automated regulatory compliance hubs, and an integrated virtual deal room, we are systematically transforming high potential ventures into scalable investment grade nutri businesses. Our ecosystem operates across 6 integrated strategic pillars, uniting a dedicated global R&D network, shared physical infrastructure via decentralized common facility centers, and an ESG-compliant trade and investment marketplace. Right now, our team is executing a massive global pipeline evaluation, reviewing over 10,000 agriculture, food, and nutrition businesses across more than 150 countries. Our mission is clear: to uncover the elite innovators shaping the next era of wellness, unlock friction-free global market access, and actively drive a 40% reduction in global post-harvest food losses. Today, as part of our Global Food, Agriculture, and Nutrition Forum series, we are mapping out the blueprints for this agriculture revolution. Joining us is a leader whose work sits at the very frontier of this transformation. Please welcome to the global stage our guest for today, Mauro Polticchia. Mauro Polticchia is a visionary global executive and strategic advisor with over 30 years of distinguished experience at the intersection of agribusiness, strategic marketing, and ESG. Currently serving as the country director for Italy at the World Agriculture Forum, he plays a pivot role in driving institutional relations, agri-tech innovation, and sustainable transition strategies across the Mediterranean and European regions. Throughout his extensive career, Mauro has demonstrated a profound expertise in bridging the gap between high-level policy, scientific research, and market implementation. He sits on several executive boards where he leverages his background to scale high-value chains, mentor breakthrough startups, and implemented resilient food systems from soil to consumer. As a thought leader and frequent international speaker, his focus remains on catalyzing public-private partnerships, accelerating digital agriculture, and fostering inclusive, circular socio-economic growth on the global scale. Thank you for joining us today to help shape the future of global nutripreneurs. I now kindly request you to proceed with your presentation. Over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the invitation. My name is Mauro Polticchia from Italy. I'm a country director for Italy for World Agriculture Forum. And yes, the main speech today is the footprint of the future regional hubs and innovation in global agriculture trade. And so, yes, today is a great honor to address such an eminent audience today. Thank you once again for the invitation. In my capacity as country director for Italy of the World Agricultural Forum, I feel profound responsibility to analyze and share the major trends of global development and trade, looking through the lens of a regional observatory that can offer scalable solution and international. We are living in an era of rapid, deep transition, as you know. Actually, a really strong situation from geopolitical point of view. Global supply chains are continuously challenged by climate shocks, geopolitical tension, and structural market shifts. So in this scenario, no region can afford to remain a passive bystander. It's crucial to add the value to those territory ecosystem that possess the structural expertise, cultural insight, and technological excellence to act as a proactive boost to change, offering a replicable model for new sustainable trade routes. Another interesting comments during my speech is that I wish to underline is a diagnosis to the challenge, innovation beyond paradoxes. True diplomacy requires courage to face effects. And the fact is that the global primary sector faces a landmark paradox. We must produce more foods for a growing world population while drastically reducing our environmental footprint and preserving natural resources. Really a big challenge. How do we overcome this big paradox? The answer for our time does not lie in looking backward, but in a leap forward driven by cautious innovation, from my point of view. When we discuss agribusiness, innovation should never be viewed as a threat to a region's identity. On the contrary, agri-tech, smart farming, precision agriculture, and the application of AI to optimize water, for example, and resources are the essential tool to ensure the continuity and high quality production worldwide. Take Italy, for example, because I come from Italy, as an interesting case study, a territory that, despite a complex mix of biodiversity and geographical fragmentation, has demonstrated extraordinary resilience through digital transition. This ecosystem stands as an excellent example how technology can streamline the entire supply chain. However, to achieve a global breakthrough, we must operate with international system logic, simply connected advanced scientific research with daily feed operations and the vision of the major institutional investor. Then I wish to underline another really interesting concept, that this is sustainable trade corridors and scalable models that bring us to the core of our global vision, creating and reinforcing sustainable trade corridors. Really, really important from my point of view. International trade must no longer be viewed merely as a high-volume commodity exchange driven solely by the lowest price. It's too simple from my point of view. The market of the future will revolve value, traceability, and both the ethical and environmental impact of the production. Really important, ethical integrity. In my role as a country director for Italy, for example, I work intensely to facilitate these connections, bringing down no-tariff barriers through shared standard and promoting public-private partnership that protect both producer and consumer. From this kind of perspective, I think regions situated in a strategic logistic position, such as the Mediterranean basin, for example, in Italy, serve as natural bridge between continents. For example, between Africa and Europe, Europe and Middle East, and other examples. These hubs offer advantage model of sustainable resources management, technological partners, and regulatory best practice that can be exported and integrated into the market. We must look, I think, as emerging market as a strategic partner with who we can co-design solution, technology transfer in climate change adaptation, for example, and in an area where international cooperation can be benefit immensely from the global case study, except the scale up the agri-tech and enterprise worldwide. Another, from my point of view now, is time to talk about the call to action, a new supply chain, for example. I think that esteemed colleague to turn this vision into a tangible reality. Economic diplomacy must embrace pragmatism, I think. We cannot operate in silos, divided. It's vital for governmental institutions, the financial sector, trade association, and young tech startup to forge a new unified alliance. We need work together. We must foster responsible investment in agriculture. Adopting ESG criteria should not be experienced as a bureaucratic burden, but rather as an extraordinary or attracting capital, for example. Global investment is actively seeking resilient agricultural projects capable to generate long-term value and mitigating climate risk. My mission, for example, as country director fits precisely within this framework. Is really important. It's really not so easy work to do, but to facilitate this multidisciplinary dialogue, remove information friction, and leverage international network to provide global market with the best expertise and the model available. In conclusion, for my point of view, I would like to leave you one of the final reflection. Agriculture is by nature about cultivating not just crops, but resilience, knowledge, and long-term partnership. In a world that often demands instant transaction to short-term results, agriculture remains as the true success required pattern, precision planting, and the lasting vision. The challenges ahead are massive, absolutely we know, but the opportunity are even greater by combining the rigor, absolutely the institution diplomacy, with the boldness and technology innovation. We can prove that sustainability is not a cost, but the most powerful engine to economic growth and geopolitical stability of the century. Thank you once again for your time, and I wish you all a high productive event. In any case, I'm really available just in case there are some Q&A. I'm really available, and you are super welcome.
Thank you, Mauro, for sharing your valuable insights with the Global Nutripreneurs community. That was an engaging and thought-provoking presentation. I'd now like to ask you a few questions to dive a little deeper into your experience and perspective. So, given your extensive background across the European and Mediterranean regions, what are the most critical policy frameworks or public-private alignment mechanisms needed today to eliminate friction in cross-border agriculture trade while maintaining strict ESG compliance?
Oh, yes, thank you. Thank you so much for this kind of question. Yes, I will answer each question if you agree with the 3 bullet points to summarize the concept, because I think these are really more clear. So, policy frameworks and public-private alignment. 3 points from my point of view. The first one is share standards, overcome non-tariff barriers by adopting uniform global regulatory and traceability standards. The second one is the public-private partnerships. So we need to establish sustainable trade corridors that secure and protect both consumer and producer. And the third one, from my point of view, is the ESG leverage, shift the perception of ESG criteria from a bureaucratic burden to an active lever to attract international capital.
Thank you for sharing that perspective. That's a very valuable insight. Building on that, I'd like to move to my next question. Post-harvest loss and food insecurity remain major global challenges. How can digital agriculture and circular economic models be deployed at scale to modernize traditional supply chains without marginalizing smallholder farmers?
Yes, also here I wish to underline 3 major points. Yes, post-harvest loss, food insecurity, smallholders. Yes, the first one is conscious innovation, deploy agri-tech, smart farming and precision agriculture to optimize litter water and soil resources, for example. The second one is the system logic, simply link advanced scientific research directly with daily practical field operation. And the third one is co-design solution. So that means that the 3 emerging markets as strategic partners to jointly build scalable climate adaptation tools.
That's a very interesting way to look at it. Moving on to our next question. Drawing from your executive board experience and work with early stage innovators, what key criteria differentiate a promising architect startup from an investment grade powerhouse capable of global deployment?
Okay, yes. Here is the stage startup versus investment grade powerhouses. Yes, from my point of view, the first one, the bullet point is scalable hub models offer advanced resources management or technology patterns that can be easily exported and integrated into diverse markets, region by region also. Climate risk mitigation, okay, present a resilient long-term asset structure that match the specific asset allocation needs to measure institutional investors. And the third one is supply chain streamlining. So that means that they demonstrate the concrete capacity to optimize, from my point of view, connect and digitalize the entire agricultural value chain, because this is the really big interesting challenge.
Thank you for highlighting that. That leads us nicely to the next topic. Many agribusinesses struggle to balance short-term commercial viability with long-term ESG compliance. What strategic marketing and transition strategies have proven most effective in aligning profitability with sustainable land and resource stewardship?
Yes, thank you. Yes, this is the main concept is balancing profitability with long-term ESG stewardship. So value over volume, this is the first one from my point of view, the first bullet point. Pivot marketing towards future-focused markets that specifically was traceability, ethics, and environmental impact. I wish to underline once again, ethics and integrity is a really important point. The second one is, from my point of view, unified alliance, break down functional silos, as I said before, by forcing type network among government institutions, finance, and startups, and grow engine paradigm. The third one, framing sustainability internally and externally, not as an operational cost, but as a core engine to economic growth.
Those are some excellent points. Let's explore another important aspect. As GlobalNutriPreneurs evaluates over 10,000 businesses worldwide to uncover top solutions for resilient food systems, how do you see this virtual accelerator perform bridging high-level institutional policy with grassroots agri-tech innovation to drive real-world market adoption?
Yes, thank you for this kind of question. Yes, my view is one single concept: virtual accelerator. So three main points here are friction removal, act as a pragmatic intermediary to eliminate information friction between high-level policy and the field reality, because often there are a big space between. The second one is technology transfer, so serve as a natural bridge to rapidly scale up growth routes, agri-tech enterprise across global networks. And the last one, from my point of view, is economic diplomacy. Economic diplomacy means direct global investment actively seeking a recent project towards verified high potential and local innovation. So I think that this is the last one, is really, really important, economic diplomacy.
I think that gives our audience a lot to reflect on. What an incredible masterclass of a conversation. Thank you for sharing your blueprints with us today. Your profound insights reinforce exactly why GlobalNutriPreneurs exists, to bridge the critical gap between commercial profitability and sustainable social impact. To everyone tuning in across the global network, whether you're an innovator, an investor, or a policymaker, the path to plugging into this unified agri-food operating system is clear. For agri-food entrepreneurs and founders, stop struggling in isolation. Fast track your venture through our customized scaling pathways, leverage AI-driven mentor matching, and utilize the automated regulatory compliance hubs to make your business cross-border ready. For accredited investors, eliminate the noise of unvetted pipelines. Access our pre-evaluated investment-grade nutri-businesses directly through our integrated virtual deal room and secure your stake in the next era of health and wellness. For industrial and academic partners, collaborate with us. Let's unlock deep tech innovation through our global agri-food nutrition research and development forum and actively build a more equitable ecosystem by championing leadership at our Women in Food, Agriculture and Nutrition Forum. Together, we can maximize our global networks and deploy decentralized common facility centers to actively drive that 40% reduction in global post-harvest food losses. The future of the global agri-food economy is no longer about survival. It is about sustainable nutrition, scientific excellence, and friction-free global trade. Visit globalnutripreneurs.com to secure your application, verify your venture, and claim your place in the future of food innovation. Thank you for joining us on Global Nutripreneurs. Until next time, keep innovating, keep scaling, and build with impact. Thank you. Have a good day.